All right. With this week, good win. Obviously, it was awesome for our guys to come away with a win again, and all three phases working well together, playing together. Obviously, a lot of guys to highlight and recognize, but really good game. And then obviously we're transitioning a little bit of a unique week just with Christmas in the middle of the week, so we're going to be working a little bit ahead on the early part of this week, and we'll see how that transpires and be ready to go for Tennessee.
Any updates on Foster?
Yeah, so Foster and Brian, probably time lost with those two guys. That's the anticipation. We'll see how the rest of the week plays itself out with regards to the last two games of the season. And then Alvin, again, continue to do what he can, and we'll just see, again, how this week progresses.
What exactly happened to Foster?
Foster's just an ankle.
I guess, I didn't know if there's more you can share this against this location. Serious. I'm just asking because obviously he had a season-ending or bad injury a year ago. And,
yeah, he got caught as the guy was tackling him. Guy kind of rolled back, kind of hip drop-y-ish, I'll say. And so, Foster, we'll just kind of see how the rest of the week transpires, though. But, they're getting the full medical things. I don't think these are things that will impact next season potentially or anything like that, but we'll see how that goes.
Just to clarify, is it just this week they're out or probably next week?
We'll anticipate time loss, so this week, and then we'll see what the following week looks like.
One, and Chris were saying that the off-season activities you guys did are paying off this time of year. Are you seeing a similar thing? Was that your intention going into it? Would it be late in the season that you would hope that bonding would come back to it?
I think just the connection of guys is really, really important to all of us. I think every NFL season, there's teams that won 11 games. They're going through adversity through a season. I think that's part of what you have to prepare yourself for a season is there's highs and lows, and the more connected we are as a football team. And there's a lot of guys you're going to onboard throughout the year as well that, weren't here in the offseason and are playing key roles for us. And so I think every opportunity we have to continue to connect as a team, to build those relationships, to build those connections, to go through some hard times, whether it be training camp or obviously in season, all those are opportunities for us to get a little bit closer, and I think some of that stuff obviously has been a benefit for us.
How do you focus on building camaraderie once you're in the fifth season? I know you went to Seattle early, but after that, pretty much.
Yeah, obviously in season there's a lot of work. A lot of these guys have time, maybe an evening dinner and whatnot. I think our guys do a really good job of that, of connecting outside of the building. I think we have an awesome building here in the sense that we have a lot of resources here that allow these guys to stay here a lot. Whether it be all the resources in the medical fields, the training room, the weight room. I think is top notch. What Ted and those guys do down there is great. So our guys, it seems like you see a lot of them on Mondays and Tuesdays. They're not necessarily in for scheduled meetings or whatnot, but these guys are around here, and you got a cafeteria that's got all the best food you can ask for, and so I think it allows our guys to just see each other a lot more throughout the week.
A lot of three tight end usage in today's game, or at least more than what we're used to seeing. What brought that about?
Yeah, obviously we've navigated some stuff from a receiver standpoint, just with injuries. Felt like they're presented an opportunity. We carried 4 tight ends going into the game, used all 4 of them. Mo was ready to go, and when Foster went down, he was able to contribute in a number of snaps, and so felt like it was a good opportunity for us. Felt like it gave us some opportunities to in the run game, but also in the pass game, and Taysom played a little bit of running back in some of those scenarios, and so I just felt like it provided us some good.
We spoke with William Sherman earlier. He talked about how he was, obviously proud of the performance, but felt like he wanted to get more out of the run game, and that the offensive line was kind of feeling that way. What was it that was challenging about the game?
Yeah, we just didn't get going as well as we wanted to. I think that's a good front. They did a good job stopping the run against us initially. I think you just continue to evaluate it and put yourself in as many different situations as you can to be successful. I think all of it, a lot of times comes down to fundamentals, details. Schematically, we're going to continue to try and find different opportunities for us. There were some dirty runs in there. We weren't able to generate many explosives outside of really the reverse, and Taysom, I guess technically was a pass, the little shovel pass. So I guess qualified as a pass as well. So, we just got to find some.
You just mentioned the injuries, and playing with tight ends more so, but do you have any update on Baylor?
He went to IR, and so, yep, all good. No.
And then also, is there anything that you can point to, whether it's one thing or multiple, as to like what's been the momentum shift in these past couple of weeks?
Yeah, I think our guys just playing good football, all three phases, again, playing well together. I think that's the beauty of when you see games like this and you have success on the field. A lot of times it's all three phases playing off each other. It's, creating a turnover on defense, creating a big play sack, and then the offense taking advantage of the opportunity. Charlie taking advantage of a bunch of field goal opportunities and scoring points there. And so, again, I think it takes everyone, and I think the resiliency, that game's not perfect. None of these games have really been perfect. But they just kind of stick with it, stay steady, keep battling, and eventually it turns.
Kellen, you guys obviously made a big commitment to Jamal this offseason. Has he played out like kind of the way you were envisioning in this offense? He's got career highs up there, top of the NFL receiving numbers.
I think Juwan's done a really nice job, and I think he's gotten better through the course of this season. He's a phenomenal pro. The way he operates, through the entire week, I think is really, really impressive. His preparation, the time he puts into it, the way he takes care of his body, I think has allowed him to continue to play really good football week in and week out. Tight ends are asked to do a lot of things. Obviously, the pass game stuff is obviously noteworthy, and he's done an excellent job there. Thought he's had some really good contested catch situations where he's made some plays. He had a couple in this game as well. And then he's still, getting dirty in the run game when he has to. And so, I think he's obviously earned all those extra reps that come with kind of being a full-time tight end because of his ability to play in all those phases.
Yeah, obviously, like when you're making that sort of commitment to players, there's people in the front office who have experience with him. You know what he's all about. What did you really like about him specifically?
Yeah, I think you saw some production in the pass game on film. Some big plays on film. You get a chance to briefly kind of meet these guys as you get onboarded with a new team. Obviously, it's the offseason, so it's challenging really to dig into all that. But just a few conversations I had with him felt like, we have a developmental opportunity here to take the next step. And so I think he's just really embraced that. He was fired up about the opportunity. I love the way he leads our group. I think he's one of those guys that is a definite lead by example, but he's got really good presence in our locker room and guides these guys. And it's been really good.
Chris said yesterday that after the Panthers thing last year, he contemplated retirement. Did you talk about that with him at all when you took the job? And what is his, commitment to keep going meant to you guys?
Yeah, I haven't talked to him necessarily about that, but I think obviously he went through a lot last year. Through the season, transitioning into the off season. He was here for the whole entire off-season program. It was phenomenal for him to be there, every day during OTAs, getting better, training camp getting better. He leads by example in a really positive way. I think he's taken advantage of a lot of opportunities this year. He's gotten better again. Another guy that, he's a couple years into this league, he's going to get better. And I think he's gotten better as the season's gone on. And so just been really proud of him, really impressed with how he's performed.
Shough had a career high in attempts and yards yesterday. When looking at the film, what was the biggest thing?
Just found completions. Did a really good job of executing. Used his feet a couple times when he had to, but obviously we weren't able to run the football as well as we had hoped, and kind of leaned into the pass game. And obviously we threw it a healthy dose certainly in the first half, trying to get this thing going. Thought he just did an excellent job, and when our team was allowed to earn some first downs, get in some tempo football, execute at a high level, I thought he did that.
What would you made it to kind of buy in defensively? Today, I think since that Rams game, number 2 in the NFL scored defense, number 1 for defense. Just pass that ball.
Yeah, just really good team defense. Brandon does an awesome job from a schematic standpoint, a preparation standpoint. Our staff is top notch there, and our players just buying into that system, buying into playing together, all 11 guys playing together. I think one thing that stands out is, we've been able to create some havoc, a la, interceptions, fumbles, sacks, those negative plays. But I think our guys have done a really good job of kind of trying to limit the explosive plays. And I think that's what forces teams to go the long way, go 10, 12 play drives. And, I think our guys are just doing a really good job playing together.
A lot of players have kind of remarked on Staley's competitiveness. I'm wondering, when you made the switch from Dallas to go work for him, was that something that jumped out to you right away? Like, this is different?
Yeah, Brandon's awesome. Obviously, I had a chance to work with him once in LA. I was fired up when we had the opportunity. It all worked out to come here, and so I think the world of Brandon. He's an A+ person, A+ coach. The way he prepares our guys is really, really impressive. The ability to make adjustments throughout a game. I think what we've seen is a scheme that has evolved as the season's gone on, and from game to game has looked a little bit different. And I think that's credit to him, his ability to really focus in on our opponent and put ourselves in a really good position to be successful.
How have you seen that? I mean, everybody talks about him being, the most competitive coach they've worked with, or one of the most. How have you seen sort of that competitive nature translate?
Yeah, I think he's just got great juice, great energy, really, really focused, really into the preparation. And I think when people feel that from him, I think everyone else adds a little more to their preparation. I think you've seen it by our defensive guys. Our guys are just playing really good assignment sound football. I think you can see the growth that our back end has had as far as staying connected in the passing game. When you have 8 sacks, obviously credit to those guys first and foremost of creating the sacks, but you also look on the back end and you see a lot of coverage being really well executed on the backside. And so, I think our guys are just doing an excellent job there.
No matter here or in LA, do you have any story or example of, like, imagine obviously mind of him and being like, oh man, this is get really competitive?
I think it's always fun just, with backgrounds of, someone spends more time as an offensive coach, some guys spend more time as a defensive coach, is just those interactions that you get to have throughout the season, watching film. Someone may give us something stressful or someone vice versa for him, and just all those different interactions we get to have and kind of talk through some sequences and some scenarios. And it's just been really, really fun.
Did you see it when you were doing the 100+ play scrimmages during training camp?
I was trying to get us to actually score a touchdown that day. I think we went 110 plays and might have scored once. So, we're trying to figure a few things out.
Have you seen sort of, I guess to an extent this is obvious, but I'm just curious what your perspective on it. Like going back to that training camp and those scrimmages and everything to now, the growth that you've seen from both sides of the football. How do you wrap your brain around what the sort of changes, differences are?
Yeah, I think it's really important to embrace there's development through an NFL season for everyone. And so something we've put a lot of time and effort into, a lot of discussions into, the way we train during the week, different opportunities, the way we can get these young guys more and more reps, whether it be, a little bit more field work on Mondays, a little bit more, post-practice work on Fridays, where we can get the younger guys going in some, 7-on-7 periods, because eventually as these seasons go, and it doesn't matter, our season, you can be winning a division type season, those guys eventually are going to get called upon. And so we put a ton of effort in that. And I think, so you start with that, and then you put in the resources we have in this building. I think it allows our guys to be around here a ton, be around the training room, the weight room, the indoor, the cafeteria. We just have a setting and environment that allows these guys to say, hey, where else would you rather be on a Monday or a Tuesday than, be here and getting better and finding different opportunities that you can, continue to improve your craft.
Just ignorance on my part, not knowing how this process works. So who calls the fake punt? Is that like a discussion on staff that Phil sees and calls?
Yeah, Phil and I, we always talk through every week the scenarios that may come up. And so, again, we just communicate together and make sure we're all dialed and we got the look that we want. And, felt like it was close. Obviously, there was a few things going on there with potential challenge and all that stuff, but we felt good about that opportunity.
Just reference camp. Last night, Joanne said that he feels like he's being more comfortable and said beyond the rest of the game. Is there anything that you love about yourself in this process?
Yeah, I think all of us are just trying to get better every opportunity we have. And so we got a really good group. We got a really competitive group, a group that stays together, competes each and every opportunity. Every single one of us is just trying to become the best version of ourselves. And, I'm in the same boat just like all these players are.
Are you yelling about the reason why you've been?
I don't know. Maybe.
Do you think that that's something that is, I don't know, we're talking about the competitive spirit elsewhere, things like that. Do you feel like that's something that's good for your team to see, and with the rallying around them, representing them kind of situation like that?
Yeah, I think we're all just trying to do the best, and we want to be the best. You know, these opportunities are only so many every single season, and so we want to take advantage of every opportunity. We're only going to get 2 more this year, and so we want to take advantage of these last 2, compete for each and every opportunity. Everyone's playing for something during these games. Everyone's coaching for something in these games, personally, professionally, you know, as a team, and so you know, we're really excited to finish this thing strong.
Chris talked about wanting to be with the organization, and how much was his play yesterday like an exclamation mark for him?
Yeah, Chris just done an awesome job. I think the steadiness, the consistency, again, we're all trying to get better there. And, you know, I thought he made some big time plays in that game. We needed a touchdown. We'd settled for a bunch of field goals. You know, great job by Tyler and CO being dialed. Some of the other receivers with the routes they ran to allow us to create that touchdown opportunity, I thought was really well executed, and finished it off, you know, with the Taysom throw was awesome.
With those 2 games, obviously, you know, positive momentum regardless going into the offseason. Bridge that over.
Yeah.
You have to spend some time apart from the roster and
yeah.
that. So what are the things that you try to impart in the players, coaching staff, everyone around you to help to carry that momentum into the offseason?
Yeah, I think it's really about the word focus. Literally don't care about anything, and you know, after these 2 weeks, we got 2 weeks left. This is all that we worry about, all we care about. There are plenty of discussions that we all get to have, and conversations to be made. That is way down the road in our eyes. So we got 2 weeks here. We want to finish this thing off as well as we possibly can for every single player, for every single opportunity. Again, I think what's really important is you're always creating habits with everything that you do, and so we're trying to create winning habits, and so that's the goal, that's the objective. We want to do everything we can to create those.
Tyler's made his way on like kind of the short list, the rookie of the year odds, and those sorts of things. What does that say about him that, you know, he's only got like 7 starts, that he's already kind of worked himself into that conversation? Yeah,
I think that's awesome. Tyler's played some really good football. I think our team has played much better football as the season's progressed, and so you know, those things certainly don't go without the guys around him and everyone kind of stepping up and playing better. And I think Tyler certainly brought a really positive spark to us, some consistency. You know, I think he's just played really consistent football. He's getting better each week. Yeah, I love where he's at.